Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm back with another unboxing video. This is the Taurus Tracker in 44 Magnum. I've never shot a 44 Mag before, so I'm excited to take this thing to the range. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Just the standard paperwork. That was the warranty information. All the other just standard ATF stuff they got to include in the box. And then you got the manual. For unboxing videos, Taurus, they don't really offer much in the variety of contents of their boxes. So we got the trigger lock, which I already took off. This was around the trigger guard. This is the key to the trigger lock. And then we got this. This is the keys for the Taurus security system. So when you pull the trigger, the hammer will not strike the firing pin. And I'll go over that a little bit more once we get this out of the box. But it also comes with a Allen wrench. I'm assuming it's for taking down or adjusting the sights of the revolver. So just to go over the internal locking mechanism really quick. You can see there is a screw head right there, like a security screw bit with the Allen wrench with a hole in it basically. And you're going to want to put that in there, the tool provided, and then you're going to want to turn it clockwise. And doing that makes it, see, I'm trying to pull the trigger all the way so the hammer will not go all the way back and then come forward, essentially locking the trigger and the hammer, which basically makes the firearm not operable. And then to take that off, you just do the opposite and turn it counterclockwise, and then now you're unlocked. And then another thing I wanted to add was this Allen wrench that comes with it in the box. It is for removing the grips. I couldn't find any other holes anywhere on it where this would come into play except for the grips. So just wanted to add that. But they also give you two of the keys, which is nice if that's something you use. But I myself personally have never used the system. I have it on my 357 Magnum revolver, and the keys have just been kind of put away and never used. Okay, so now the fun part. So yeah, all you get is just that and the revolver in the box. Nothing really special, but I mean, it is a budget revolver, so. And there it is in all of its glory. One thing I like about Taurus is they do add this little protective rubber guard for the hammer and the rear sight. See, it's got a blued finish and a ported barrel. This is a 4-inch barrel. The ported barrel is obviously to reduce recoil when firing. So let's get this safety ring out of there. Okay, so this 4-inch barrel, ported, has fully adjustable rear sights, which is adjustable using a slotted screwdriver. You can see it very plainly points out which direction to turn it to adjust the sights for up and down and left and right. And this is a compact frame revolver. Some of the features of it are, it has a transfer bar mechanism that prevents the hammer from striking the firing pin unless the trigger is pulled fully to the rear. So that'll give you some peace of mind about an accidental discharge from dropping the firearm or something, which it sounds like that's not going to happen unless the trigger is actually pulled all the way to the rear. As I said already, it has a factory ported barrel. Everything is steel, and it's got a blued finish. This comes in at about 2.12 pounds total and has a 4-inch barrel. So let's go ahead and see how the trigger pull is without cocking the hammer. Surprisingly, not that bad. And let's see how light it is. Yeah, it's a really nice trigger pull. Surprised the single action trigger pull on that is actually not bad at all. Now, one thing about this revolver, when I purchased it online from Cabela's, the grips that are on here was not what they showed in the picture at all. Completely different grips. I'll show a picture of that now. And as you can see, what I got is completely different than what was in the picture. So thinking I was getting the other style of grips, I went ahead and purchased some wood grips for this revolver, which, to be honest, I probably would have done regardless. But one thing I noticed, with this grip, it feels like you can get all your fingers on it, but it feels like your pinky finger is barely holding on to anything at all. And with such a high caliber, that would make me feel like you don't have as much control on it as you would want. So that's where these come in, these grips that I got on Amazon. They add a considerable amount of length to your grip, which I would think would make a pretty big difference handling your recoil. So you can see here it is right there. And yeah, you get a full hands grip on that compared to these rubber grips. And now if I hold it up next to these ones, get it lined up, you can see it gives you a decent amount more to grip onto. So I'm going to install these and bring these grips with me when I shoot for the first time and compare shooting it with these and then with the OEM grips and see how much of a difference there is. I feel like there will be a considerable difference with these wood grips because it feels like it's going to help mitigate that recoil a lot more than these grips will. This is a 44 Magnum revolver. That means you can run 44 Magnum and 44 Special, which has a lower recoil. I personally didn't even know there was a 44 Special until after I purchased this and kind of researched the ammo. But the best way for me to explain it would be if you had a 357, the 44 Special would be like shooting a 38 Special out of your 357 Magnum, and this regular 44 Mag would be like shooting just a regular 357 Magnum. You can see the 44 Special is noticeably shorter, which means there's less powder in there, and which means it's going to have less of a kick. So in turn, there'll be a lot less recoil. So so I liked learning that because maybe my first shot or two, I'll be using these 44 Specials just to kind of get a feel for the gun. Because like I said, I've never shot 44 Magnum before. From what I've heard, people say it's not a caliber that's fun to shoot. So that kind of makes me feel like it is a considerable amount of recoil, and so much so to where it isn't comfortable to do so. So go ahead and take a quick up close look at the whole thing. little blemish right there. I think it's just a smudge, yeah. This thing doesn't appear to have much of a factory lubrication or oil in it, so I'm going to kind of clean it up before I take it shooting at the range. That never hurts to do whenever you get a new firearm, in my opinion. So this tracker model also comes in a 6-inch barrel style as well, which would be a lot more manageable, I would think, with recoil. But then you don't get the portability you would with a 4-inch. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.